Hi, this is Gil Cargill. Thanks so much for your interest in our master class. In the next 25 or 30 minutes, I'm going to show you how we help our clients improve their top line by 36% without adding staff or increasing their marketing spend. Essentially, you're going to learn how to assemble the components of what we refer to as a Fortune 500 sales engine. But have no fear, this sales engine will not cost you a fortune. In fact, it's going to help you make a fortune. Let's get going. As Mark Cuban has said, if you don't know AI, you're going to fail, period. End of story. This new approach, this new technology is helping small sales forces beat the bridges out of their much larger sales team. You see, as you're going to see, the key is to create and maintain potential relationships with all of the decision makers and all of the accounts all of the time. I'm going to walk you through step by step how a sales team, regardless of the size, can outcompete the big boys by utilizing artificial intelligence tools and power. I promise you, you'll learn how to grow your revenue by 36% without having to hire one additional salesperson and without increasing your marketing spend. As a matter of fact, most of our existing clients have exceeded a 70% growth. And as you'll learn later in our presentation, we guarantee your success. More on that in just a little bit. I've been involved with sales training and sales coaching since 1978. I've conducted over 1,500 Vistage webinars and seminars throughout the English-speaking world to help 1,500 Vistage members, small to medium business CEOs, grow their top line. In addition, I've worked with 7,000 small to medium businesses in all industries to improve their top and bottom line. But it was this experience that brought me into the arena of sales process engineering. You heard me. We are now a sales process engineering firm utilizing AI tools to produce dramatic results. Let me walk you through how this occurred. You see, way back in 1978, if you had hired me, I would have come to your office and spent 2 or 3 days teaching your team how to sell. The problem with that business is that we humans can't learn to perfect or become optimally proficient at any activity if all we do is read a book, listen to lectures, or watch videos. You have to have practice. And that has been problematic up until now because sales managers, more often than not, did not have the time to regularly and consistently conduct role play exercises with the salespeople. Concurrent with this reality, I realized that the key to sales growth is to treat sales like a manufacturing process. If you're familiar with Six Sigma manufacturing or lean manufacturing, you know that the quantity and quality of input into a manufacturing process will directly and mathematically correspond to the quality of output of that process. Manufacturing customers is what we do. Manufacturing transactions is what we do. Once you look at sales in that arena or in that view, it gets to be fairly simple and fairly obvious that your problem with sales is not your people, but it is the process. I discovered that the process that most businesses use, including what I was taught when I was a rookie at IBM, was first written down in 1873 by the founder of NCR. A little buzzword gee whiz anecdote is that gentleman, his name was Patterson, hired a gentleman named Tom Watson, who he later fired, and Tom Watson started a little company called IBM. But the outdated process is what's keeping many companies from optimizing their top and their bottom line. Now that AI is on board, we can do work that we've never dreamt of. AI, as you'll see, does the majority of the mundane, repetitive work that ironically and tragically keeps salespeople from doing that which you want them to do and that which they enjoy most, which is negotiating deals and closing contracts. Implementing AI and process engineering will produce a 36% top line improvement year over year. Now you're looking at your sales team's biggest enemy. Let me explain what I mean by that. There are 173 selling hours available to your team on a monthly basis. That's assuming they work 40 hours a week and it's a full-time sales job. Now, anything that they do during those 173 hours that does not contribute to revenue suppresses, in mathematical precision and correlation, the ability of that individual to produce profitable revenue. And tragically, over time, the sales process has gotten so diluted that most salespeople don't spend anywhere near 173.5 hours per month pursuing revenue. As a result of that, the average business to business salesperson looks like this gentleman. He's got to follow up on management mandates. He's got to follow his sales process. If the leads aren't ready to buy, he puts them away and plans to get back to them at some point in the future. He has to build and maintain relationships. He must produce predictable results, but research has shown that this gentleman, if he's typical, has to engage in 83 different tasks per day. And nobody can be good at 83 unplanned, disparate, surprise tasks on a daily basis. The net result is that he underperforms not because of maliciousness or laziness, but just because he can't spend enough time selling. Now, this pie chart is the sum of about 400 of our recent clients that we analyzed before we implemented AI technology. The average salesperson in those companies spent approximately 34% of the business day pursuing revenue with prospects or customers. The balance of that day was engaged in non-productive activity, ranging from nothing more ridiculous than going into the warehouse and counting inventory to delivering products, what have you. In our world, we want salespeople to sell and everybody else to do everything else. Now, for the first time, AI does work for your team. So AI will allow that dark blue slice or those darker blue slices to expand into the finite 173 hours per month. By expanding that, let's say we doubled the amount of time they spent selling and took it from 34% to 68% of the day. So you'd have double the results without increasing your headcount by offloading the non-productive work onto AI technology. That's essentially what it will do. Now you're looking at a flow chart of one of our typical systems. Each one of the squares at the bottom of your screen is a bot that we've trained specifically to do one task within the orchestration of your entire team. Each one of those bots is an expert based on the training we give it to interact with your customers, your employees, your calendars, your warehouse, your inventory. Literally, whatever you want it to do, it will do. And it will do it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and never make a mistake. Contrast that to an employee workforce that quits at 5 and doesn't work on most weekends. Those are the keys to helping you grow your top line. So our typical system is custom built from ground up. It takes us about 10 days from the beginning of our process to finishing the process. But in the meantime, you'll be pleased to know there's no work on the part of you and or your team, and there's no disruption to your team. As a matter of fact, there's no training for your team. The only time your team will know that this army of well-trained precision AI bots is working in your background is when the appointment setter bot books an appointment into the calendar of one of your salespeople. Now, for those of you that are willing to stay until the end of our presentation, I've got a very special gift for you. It is our Selling with Automated Processes manual. It's more than 100 pages of flow charts, automation descriptions, suggested text, the entire 17 phases of a consultative sales process. Scripts are in the manual, and if you are a do-it-yourself kind of person, you can take our manual, global search and replace it, and put it into your own AI system. or hopefully you will engage us to do that work for you so that you and your team will start getting the benefit of AI without having to do the work. And I'm sure you'll be pleased with our success guarantee as well as the affordable monthly, month-to-month investment. But we implement immediately, and that will help you achieve your goals. So let me tell you a little bit more about the journey that I took to get to this point. In the late 1970s, I resigned from IBM. I had had a very lucrative and very successful career there. I ran the Chicago branch office. I left to become an entrepreneur. In the mid 80s, my sales training practice was really going great, but that's when I discovered that people were paying for infotainment, not permanent, measurable, profitable behavior change on the part of adults. After all, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to make an adult want to become more successful than they want to become. Because of that realization, I started embracing the CRM technology, which was on the horizon in those days. And CRM worked great for those salespeople who were really dedicated to following up relentlessly on every opportunity. All too often, CRM technology did nothing but remind people to do work. And that was the same time that I realized that we manufacture transactions and relationships. Now that we're using AI, for the first time, technology does the work for the salesperson. AI creates two-way conversations by verbally in English or other languages, by text and or by email. AI understands what the prospects say. AI nurtures relationships. And AI implementation allows one salesperson to maintain relationships with thousands of decision makers. The AI revolution is really changing everything. Your team gets instant expertise. So, in the event you hire a new salesperson, his or her AI partner already has relationships, is already making phone calls, booking appointments, managing calendars. We personalize and customize every system for every one of our clients. It's as if you have a perfect sales team that never comes in late for work and never gives you a lame excuse for poor sales performance. And most important, has no relationship to a gentleman that I managed back in my IBM days that literally this guy could sell anything IBM didn't make. If it wasn't in our manufacturing list, he had 15 customers in downtown Chicago ready to buy hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of computers. We support the systems 24/7. They work 365 days a year. And most importantly, you will never be surprised by the outcomes of our AI sales team. You see, every Tuesday, you'll get a report detailing everything that AI did for you in the previous week. Number of phone calls, emails, visits, appointments, outcomes, new customers, onboarding. Whatever your sales process requires, we will document it and we will train the AI team to follow up in the fashion that you'd like them to follow up. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind is that AI is not a magic bullet. Let's make sure, first and foremost, that you have a sales process in place. I want to really make sure that that's the key because all too often we implement automation in a non-process environment, and that allows your team to make more mistakes per day than they were before the implementation of automation. So real quick, and if I were on a video screen, I'd like to look at hands. How many of you have a documented sales process written in clear language with flow charts, suggested steps, etc.? If you don't have that, then the manual that I'm going to give you at the end of this session will be your template. As I said a minute ago, global search and replace, and you have a sales process manual customized for your business. Now, the biggest benefit of our implementation of AI is we implement it in a hands-free environment for your team. As odd as what I'm about to say may sound, but I have completely trained your entire team to operate in an AI environment. That's my tongue-in-cheek way of saying there's no training needed. The AI works autonomously, it makes decisions, it creates conversations, it builds and maintains relationships, and it allows humans to do outstanding work. For instance, our AI system can easily make 10,000 cold calls per day. Compare that to a human being. Our AI reduces the non-sales administrative workload on your team, giving them more selling time, and that proportionally translates into more revenue. No leads are ever lost because all leads are followed up on relentlessly. Now, we've talked to a lot of people about implementing AI within their sales team, and they're saying some things that I think are false beliefs. Number one, I can't grow until I hire more salespeople. Well, I'm here to tell you, you don't need more salespeople. You do need more selling opportunities, and we can fix that, guaranteed. Second false belief, we're doing well relative to our goals. And this has always been a concern of mine. You see, setting goals is almost always relative. Relative to last year, revenue's up X%. Well, don't pat yourself on or your back. Is the market growing and you're just the beneficiary of a rising tide? Or are you taking business away from your competition? Or is the status quo okay? I want my clients to compete for all demographically desirable opportunities in all of the accounts all of the time. AI, for the first time, allows you to realize that goal. The last and the worst false belief is we don't have time for new approaches. Well, as I said a moment ago, there's nothing that you need to do to change. All the work is done by the AI and or by our team. All you and your team need to do is follow up on appointments set in your calendar. And it's always about your funnel. You probably are doing some sort of outreach, whether it's prospecting or paid ads or SEO or whatever, to get people into your funnel. Now, here's where the problem starts to arise. Most salespeople, according to all kinds of studies, abandon their efforts to pursue a new lead after 3 or 4 attempts. Tragically, according to the Dartnell Sales Institute in Chicago, you must touch a new contact at least 9 or 10 times before they're ready to engage in the sales process. So that salesperson puts that new lead off to the side. You see, we found that 3% of all leads are what we refer to as now buyers. They're ready to buy today. 97% are future buyers. Now, the problem, illustrated by the image on your screen, is personified by funnel leakage. Deals go into the funnel, but suddenly they disappear. Let me ask you, have you ever asked one of your salespeople a question that sounds something like this? Hey, Charlie, whatever happened to that lead we had over out at the XYZ hospital? I thought that looked pretty good. What's happening there? You see, that's a symptom of funnel leakage. Charlie didn't follow up on that lead. We're going to have AI follow up on every lead all of the time. So you benefit from a compounding of AI doing more outreach per day, per week, or per month than any sales team can do, combined with AI qualifying and nurturing those leads perpetually so no leads are ever lost. More leads into the funnel, more leads nurtured and qualified, more transactions out of the bottom of the funnel. And those transactions can become mind-blowing because of this compounding effect. So for instance, at our lowest level of service for an entry-level company, 50 introductions are made every day by the AI on behalf of that client. 97% of those inquiries turn into nurturing. We'll follow up, we'll send more information or whatever. 3% are ready now, and the AI will book those into your calendar. But over the course of a year, your company, with no additional staff and no additional marketing spend, has created and is maintaining relationships with 13,000 future buyers. What will your P&L look like when you are at least considered? I'm not guaranteeing you'll win those deals, but you will be considered by 13,000 prospective decision makers. If 50 introductions per day isn't enough, we can scale infinitely. How many opportunities are there in your market? You see, this resource multiplication or compounding effect is available to you for less than the cost of a visit to your favorite coffee shop per day. This AI assistant will do work for you 24/7 with zero time investment on your team's part. Let me walk you through what we typically do when we get a new client. The very first thing is we implement a reactivation campaign. If you have dead leads or dormant accounts that need reactivation, we can have the AI call those accounts, send them emails, send them text messages to get them into your calendar. That's done with no interaction on the part of your team until they have appointments in their calendar. The next thing we do is automate the responses of Google reviews. This is especially important if you're in a home service business because your prospects inevitably go to Google before they make a phone call. If you aren't present there or if you have bad reviews, you won't get an opportunity to compete. So we automate the management of Google reviews, and concurrent with that, we ask every positive review for a referral to a friend of theirs. The AI puts that referral into a campaign, introduces the referred prospect to your company, and starts the process over again. Again, with no interaction on the part of your people. We will also solicit referrals professionally and politely from all of your existing accounts. Accounts that are in place that aren't buying enough and or aren't buying often enough will be managed to grow through AI repetitive conversations, qualifying, introducing new products or services. We will then move to the cold outreach phase, and all of these are done in about a 10-day period. So we use AI to help us build AI to run for our clients. So we'll start an outreach campaign, as I said, at 50 contacts per day, 1,000 contacts per day. It doesn't matter. What matters is how many opportunities are there in your market and how many appointments can you handle in your calendar at any given time. We will also create a form to go on your website and capture conversations with people that visit your website via email and or text messages. And once we've captured them, we'll qualify them, again, all with AI, and put them into your calendar. The next step is to activate in and outbound voice calling. If you haven't experienced this yet, please let our consultant know, and we will be happy to give you a demonstration of how human-like the voice calling is. And candidly, it's getting better by the minute, not by the day, by the minute. So our AI assistant will answer your phone, will qualify prospects, disseminate important information, dates, times, locations, etc. Everything a front desk receptionist would do. It will schedule appointments, book them into your calendar, transfer calls to the appropriate person, handle in and outbound calling, all 24/7 process. And certainly, very important, AI will handle customer service questions. But I don't want you to think that AI by itself does all the work. One thing we do, and this is the only thing we do that could involve some of your people. Most of the salespeople that I've worked with over the years, and there are tens of thousands of them, don't practice their skill. Golfers practice golf relentlessly. Football players practice snapping the ball to the quarterback thousands of times per season. How often do your salespeople practice selling? AI becomes a role play partner for those salespeople who would like to improve their presentation skills. And AI creates an artificial persona to offer some sales resistance. We start at the easy level of resistance, move up to medium, move up to hard, and move up to insane. Each one of those four levels impacts into your salespeople muscle memory, which allows them to approach all sales situations better and more confidently than ever before. Now, some people at this point may be saying, well, Gil, this sounds great, and it looks like something that I could use, but I have some concerns. Let me try and dispel those. And if you aren't totally satisfied, let's make sure we get together and ask one of our consultants what your questions are. But some of our clients were concerned that their customers would not be comfortable speaking with AI. Ironically, every person on the planet has either called Siri or her Android counterpart and conducted a conversation. But nonetheless, a quick demonstration proves that interaction with our system is very, very comfortable and not robotic at all. Technology integration is another issue, but don't worry about that because we don't integrate. We work autonomously and independent of any technology you have. So there's no integration or synchronization needed. As I said a moment ago, we will provide you with reports every Tuesday that keeps you in the mode of knowing exactly what's happening. Our calling AI will switch from English to Spanish instantaneously, extending the reach of your customers. We offer you a 100% success guarantee, which really should make this a zero risk decision. What we'd like you to do is become one of our month-to-month customers, clients, no long-term contracts. If at any time you're dissatisfied with the performance of the system, we will stop billing and continue working until such time as you're totally satisfied. We're looking for long-term partnerships, not quick deals. Now, don't forget, now that you've made it to the end of my presentation, again, I want to thank you. You're at the moment of decision. We're going to send you the manual that's on the center of your screen. It will come to you as a PDF. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. What you should do at this point is schedule your AI impact assessment with myself or one of our consultants. We will walk you through an exercise or two to estimate how much additional revenue our AI sales systems will produce for you. As always, I want to wish you good luck and good selling, and I thank you for your time and attention.